Take a moment to notice where your body is right now. The way you're sitting or lying down. The place where your weight is being supported. You don't have to adjust anything. Just notice that you are being held. Let your shoulders soften. If they've been tight all day, you don't need to force them to relax. Just give them permission to drop a little. The muscles around your neck and jaw can ease as well. Nothing is required from you in this moment. Your breathing doesn't need to change. Simply notice it. The gentle movement in your chest, the rise and fall. If the breath feels shallow or uneven, that's okay. We're not correcting anything. We're just allowing the body to begin settling on its own. It's normal if your mind is still busy. Thoughts have a way of showing up as soon as things get quiet. Plans, memories, concerns from the day. You don't have to follow those thoughts. You don't have to push them away either. Just let them pass by, the way clouds move across the sky. Night is not a time for solving problems. It's not a time for replaying conversations or preparing for tomorrow. Night is a time for rest. And rest is something God designed your body to do naturally. If today felt heavy or unfinished, remind yourself gently, this day is complete. Even if everything wasn't resolved, it is enough for now. You are allowed to pause. You are allowed to stop holding everything together. The Bible calls God the God of hope. That doesn't mean you have to feel hopeful right now. It simply means hope exists, even on nights when you feel empty or worn down. Hope is not something you have to create. It's something that already exists in God's presence. So tonight, you can let go of the effort to be strong. You don't need to stay alert. God does not need your help to stay awake through the night. He is steady, even when you are tired. Notice again how your body feels now compared to a few moments ago. Perhaps just a little heavier, a little more supported. If not, that's okay too. There is no right way to rest. Your nervous system is allowed to slow down here. Your body knows how to do this. You don't have to teach it. You just have to let it happen. God is here with you, not rushing you, not asking anything of you, simply present. Stay here for a moment longer. There's nowhere else you need to be right now. As your body begins to settle, you may notice certain thoughts still holding on. Concerns that didn't end when the day ended. They followed you here, quietly waiting for the night to slow down. Some of these worries feel familiar. Questions about your health, about someone you love, about money, work, or decisions that don't yet have clear answers. You didn't choose these concerns, and you don't need to judge yourself for having them. They're simply part of being human in a complicated world. Tonight, we're not trying to solve any of this. There will be time for that later. Night is not the place for fixing the future. Night is where responsibility begins to loosen its grip. You've been carrying a lot. Some of it visible, much of it unseen. Responsibilities you didn't ask for. Expectations that quietly became yours to hold. And over time, carrying them became normal, even when it became heavy. But tonight, you don't have to carry everything. You were never meant to. I've had nights like this too. Nights when my body was tired, but my mind wouldn't slow down. I didn't always have answers. So I learned to stop trying to carry everything alone. That's why I stay here with you tonight. Imagine gently setting down what you've been holding. Not throwing it away, not ignoring it, just placing it somewhere safe. You can place your concerns into God's hands. Hands that are steady. Hands that do not grow tired. Hands that have held far more than this before. Take one concern at a time. There's no need to rush. That worry about tomorrow, place it there. That pressure to have answers, place it there. That quiet fear you don't talk about much, place it there too. You don't need to explain it to God. He already understands. You don't need to know how He will handle it. You only need to trust that He will. There are things that simply cannot be fixed tonight, and staying awake will not make them easier. God is not asking you to be alert through the dark hours. That responsibility does not belong to you. Jesus once spoke about how God cares even for the smallest details of creation. That reminder wasn't meant to make us feel small. It was meant to remind us that we are not alone in carrying life's weight. If God is attentive to the small and ordinary, He is attentive to you, to your life, to the things that keep you up at night. When plans fall apart, when life feels uncertain and fragile, God remains steady. He has not stepped away. He has not lost control. And He has not forgotten you. So tonight, we loosen our grip on control. We release the pressure to be prepared for every outcome. We let go of the idea that everything depends on us. It doesn't. God is strong enough to hold what you cannot, wise enough to guide what you cannot see, present enough to stay close through it all. Notice how it feels to not carry everything at once. Even a small release makes space for rest. Even a quiet surrender brings relief. You are allowed to rest tonight. Allowed to stop managing the future. Allowed to trust that God is still working. Even now, stay here in this place of release for a moment longer. There's nothing you need to pick back up right now. As you rest here, something important is happening. Not because you are doing anything, but because you are no longer doing everything. Even now, as your body slows and your breathing becomes softer, God remains awake, attentive, present, working in ways you don't need to understand tonight. There is a quiet comfort in knowing that you are not responsible for holding the world together through the night. God does not sleep. He does not drift off. He does not lose awareness when things grow dark. While you rest, He continues. God works in places you cannot see yet, in details that haven't reached the surface, in conversations that haven't happened, in outcomes that haven't taken shape. Much of God's work happens quietly, without announcement, without urgency, often beneath the surface where trust grows slowly and steadily. Think back to other seasons of your life, times when you didn't know how things would work out, moments when the path ahead felt uncertain, even frightening. And yet, somehow, you were carried through. You may not have seen how everything came together at the time, but looking back, you can see that you were not alone. That same presence is here with you tonight. God's faithfulness does not depend on your awareness of it. He is working whether you feel calm or anxious, whether you feel hopeful or tired, whether you are awake or asleep. Tonight, you are allowed to let go of vigilance. You do not need to stay alert just in case. You do not need to rehearse every possible future. God is already there. Tomorrow does not belong to your fears. It belongs to God. The next step does not require your constant attention tonight. God will meet you there when the time comes. If doubt whispers that things won't be okay, you don't need to argue with it. Just let that doubt pass by, the way you did earlier with other thoughts. You don't have to win the conversation. You only have to rest. God has carried you through nights like this before, even when you didn't realize it at the time, even when you felt unsure and small. You are not too late. You are not behind. You have not missed your moment. God's work is not limited by your exhaustion. As you lie here now, Notice how your body feels heavier, not from stress, but from release, from no longer holding what was never yours to carry. God is working in the unseen places of your life, in the spaces between your worries, in the silence of this night. You don't need to help Him. You don't need to stay awake to make sure it happens. Your rest does not slow Him down. So allow yourself to rest a little deeper. Let your breathing slow even more. Let your thoughts become fewer. God is here. God is working. And you are safe to sleep. Stay here in this quiet truth. There is nothing else you need to do tonight. As this time together begins to gently come to a close, there is nothing you need to hold on to, nothing you need to remember. The words can fade now, and that's perfectly fine. Your breathing continues at its own pace, slow, natural, unforced. If sleep has already started to arrive, you don't need to resist it. If you're still awake, that's okay too. There is no rush here. Rest will come when your body is ready. God is still here with you, not leaving when the prayer ends, not stepping away when things grow quiet. His presence does not depend on your attention. Whatever this night holds, you are not facing it alone. Whatever tomorrow brings, you will not face that alone either. The same God who is watching over you now will be there when morning comes. If today carried moments of sadness, they were seen. If it carried exhaustion, it was understood. Nothing about your life has gone unnoticed. So you can rest now. Not because everything is suddenly resolved, but because you are held by a faithful God. Let your body sink a little deeper. Let your thoughts drift further apart. Let the quiet do its work. There is nothing left for you to do tonight. No problem that needs your attention. No burden that needs to be picked back up. God is working, even now, especially now. As sleep comes, may peace remain with you, a steady peace, a gentle peace. The kind of peace that doesn't need explanation. Rest now in God's peace. I'll be right here with you again tomorrow night.